Hey there, this is Erica from Adver Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. So that's you. Go ahead and click like and subscribe below. Today's video is a requested one. I had a video a little while ago where I talked about using different modes of communication with your students when creating your materials. And so this person asked, can you give an example of each of these modes? And so text, image, video, audio, and kinesthetic are the 5 I mentioned in that video, which I'll link below. So today I'm going to show you examples of each. Let's get started. Sometimes the best option is to just write out something for your students to read carefully and read over and over again for your class. So in this case, it's just text-based. Here's one example of a document where I go over the various elements of literary analysis. So I start by talking about different types of thesis statements and give examples of them. And then I go through all the other elements. So claims, topic sentences, close reading, analysis, and the so what conclusion. And so students can read through and see examples as well as descriptions of each of these elements. So really very simple. Type it up in a Google Doc and share it with your students, or save it as a PDF and share it that way. So that, I do it quite often because I'm teaching writing courses and literature courses, but you can see when it would work best for you to keep it like this, or when you might want to make it a bit more visually engaging. And so in this case, now we have an infographic of the 5 main elements of writing literary analysis. So it's the same elements as that document, but obviously much more succinct and a bit more visually pleasing. So again, you go through thesis, topic sentence, close reading, analysis, and the significance discussion. And the students can use this as a resource. This is actually from a blog post for teachers about how to approach teaching literary analysis. But that's another option here. So creating infographics and sharing those with your students. I use Canva to create mine. It's a free tool. I have a video about it below that I'll link. But here is option 2, creating either infographics or newsletters or brochures, something that includes images and text together perhaps, or just images if you want to go that route. And then there's videos as well. In this case, these are videos I've created for one of my courses, either overview videos or recorded lectures from class, supplementary videos that I created about MLA or whatever the case may be. You can also find videos on YouTube and other places to share with your students, to teach them lessons. It doesn't have to be all self-created, but this is how I've used videos. So I've used ones that I found online at times, but for the most part, I go ahead and create videos for my students to look at and rewatch so they make sure that they have the chance to really understand the major elements of my course. So a lot of these came from last semester when I was recording lectures in class because I had quite a few students on Zoom. But you can also create ones on your own at home, screen record it. It doesn't have to be actually you on camera. So this is an option if you want to create some videos for your classes. You can just post them on YouTube, or if you want, you can use Loom, which is free for educators if they put in their EDU email. And in that case, it's much easier to just copy the Loom link and share it with your students. And I have a video about how to do that as well that I'll link in the description. Audio only is not something I do often, but potentially you might want to teach podcast in your course or use it as a way of, giving students more information for homework. So in this case, keeping with the theme, this is Hey YA. So it's a podcast specifically about YA literature, young adult literature. And so you can go through here and see if anything matches what you're discussing in class. So in this case, heroines don't always have to be strong. YA romance chat with Jacqueline Firkins. So maybe, we're reading a book that has a romance or that does not have a romance. I might assign this episode and have students listen to it on their own time for homework, and then we discuss it in class. Podcast episodes can range from 5 minutes to an hour and a half. So obviously it just depends on which ones you choose to share with your students. But in this case, you're not creating them, though you can. You're just finding them online and sharing the links with your students. And then finally, kinesthetic, you might just have activities you do in class where students have to move around the classroom. But here's an example where that's not the case. So these, I call them book cubes. So basically, here's a template for creating them. but they curate a cube where each side has a certain aspect of the story that they're reading. So it might be, okay, we're going to create a book cube that is about characterization is the focus. And so each side has to have a character and the main elements of what you think characterizes that character. Is it their looks? Is it their personality? Is it a certain scene where they said something, where they act in a certain way? So you can have them here create something physical. So it's not just, watching the screen constantly in the classroom or for homework. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and click like and subscribe below. If you have your own videos you want to request, you can do so in the comment section or in the survey that I've linked in the description. I'll see you next time.